We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is Wednesday, May the 25th, 5:50 a.m., 2022. Just got off work. There's a nice little soft rain going on, which is awesome. It's my day off today. So I might do a podcast later. Who knows? Just depends on how I feel. But yeah. Just a chill night at work. Sadly, we lost the new guy, so it's just me solo again. But I did get some help later on in the night, so that was nice. Meaning I don't have to come in tonight on my day off, which is awesome. As far as an update, that's about it, man. Let's get on with the show. So our first story is pretty sad. Another fellow YouTuber slash, I guess you could call him a podcaster, because he did hours and hours of talking and reporting on current news and conspiracy theories, stuff like that. I found out through Marfoogle News a couple days back, and I was watching other YouTubers talk about it, and for some reason, not trying to sidetrack, but for some reason, people are saying Marfoogle is a bad guy, apparently, but they didn't give any reasons why he's a shill. The only reason this lady gave was that he kept touching his nose. So apparently that's a conspiracy no-no, I guess. Kind of like holding up the okie dokie sign. I've already went over how the conspiracy community is just as bad as social justice is warriors as far as eating their own. But anyways, I digress. James Munder died, who I was a big fan of. Kept with him, not for years, but I kept up with him for probably about 2 to 3 years, probably about 2 years. I kept up with James Munder. I found him and just liked his style, liked his goofiness. He was someone who struggled with substance abuse. He came from, I think he was a Scientologist for a while and fought that. Yeah, he was just a big hero of the community, and he died in a car accident. So all I could find on it was just a very small little article. It was one killed in crash on 405 freeway near LAX. The crash closes lanes during the morning drive east of Los Angeles International Airport. And it was one person was killed in a crash early Friday morning on the 405 freeway in the Inglewood area. The crash was reported at about 4 a.m., which makes sense because James Munder liked to do like early morning, late night drives, near the Century Boulevard exit. The location on the northbound side of the freeway is east of Los Angeles International Airport. Details about the person killed and what led to the crash were not immediately available. At least 2 cars were involved in the crash. Witnesses reported 1 car on its roof and other drivers swerving to avoid the wreckage. So lanes were closed for the crash investigation. And that's all I could find on it. But I figured I'd let you all know, and rest in peace, James Munder. We'll do a moment of silence for him. So I thought this was crazy. Somehow this flew under my radar, but I still think it's relevant. Glory holes guidance around safe sex during Plandemic, not a joke, says sex worker. And by the way, just for algorithms, I am not a medical doctor or physician. This is not medical advice. So, blah, blah, blah. Guidance from the BC Center for Disease Control around safe sex during the Plandemic has gone viral in the past few days for its usage of the term glory holes, prompting laughs on social media. Glory hole is a colloquial term used for a wall with a hole cut in it to facilitate sexual contact between partners without direct physical contact. But one of the people who helped write those guidelines says it's not a joke, especially for sex workers. Quote, because we are addressing it in an adult manner in association to the plandemic of people dying, getting sick, and getting ill, we don't see the big joke. Sex workers advocate Velvet Steel told Global News. Quote, people are so offended about it, but then again, it's always just the people who are so nervous to talk about sex. Steele, who also works as a sex worker, said the guidelines were written as a way to help sex workers who have been excluded from the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, CERB for short, and who have to continue working if they want to put food on the table. Quote, we are taking this seriously because people are being cut out of their livelihoods, she said. They don't have the same kind of income to look after themselves, to pay their bills, rent, mortgage, whatever else they are doing. Steele said sex workers who were feeling anxious about continuing their work in the midst of a pandemic where key public health messaging has centered around keeping a physical distance from others came to her and other advocates looking for guidance. The guidelines weren't written specifically for the BC CDC, but Steele said she's glad they ended up there and said there's no point in dancing around the issue with vague terminology. But she said the response to the usage of the term glory holes online has been immature. Gee, I wonder why. It's fucking hilarious. She pointed out that other industries and sectors have all received guidance on how to up their cleaning and safety measures in the face of beer bug. I equate it to the situation of hair salons, for example. In those industries, it's no different when it comes to sex work, Steele said. People are cleaning up and sanitizing between clients, but the level of management in between clients has been upped. Steele said sex workers and advocates had to come up with their own guidance, however. She said the industry has always pushed to envelope on conversations surrounding public health, pointing to efforts by sex workers to destigmatize the HIV/AIDS pandemic. Sex workers have always been at the forefront of developing safer sex protocols and guidelines, she says. They've also been brought to the table by a lot of health centers in regards to analyzing and seeing what's going on. They know what it's like doing the work they do. Steele said sex workers have been consistently marginalized and prevented from regulating their industry. She's pushing for the federal liberal government to repeal the Protection of Communities and Exploited Persons Act, which criminalizes the purchase of sex, but which does not criminalize the act of offering sex in exchange for money. Steele said that the act prevents sex workers from having a seat at the table and from pushing for regulations and laws that would protect them. And she said it's likely contributed to the fact that sex workers are excluded right now from the CERB. She wants the federal government to extend those benefits to everybody who needs them. Sex work is work, she says. So they should be taken care of. They should be looked after. They're also citizens of this country. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious that the CDC was suggesting glory holes. Oh, you gotta love it. So let's get into this. A lot of conspiracy channels right now are thinking that monkeypox is the next pandemic. And I wanted to report on it. Apparently, some cases have popped up, and we've already suspected this just from that overturning of a semi truck with some monkeys on board. I don't know if you all remember that. I think that was last year, and that could be predictive programming. They always like to tell us what they're about to do. Some people say it's revelation of the method, that it's some karmic law that they believe in. Who knows? But this is from the mouth of who? Multi-country. Hey, kitty. Sorry about that. Multi-country monkeypox outbreak in non-endemic countries. Since May 13th, 2022, cases of monkeypox have been reported to WHO from 12 member states that are not endemic for monkeypox virus across 3 WHO regions. Epidemiological investigations are ongoing. However, reported cases thus far have no established travel links to endemic areas. Based on currently available information, cases have mainly, but not exclusively, been identified amongst men who have sex with men, MSM, seeking care in primary care and sexual health clinics. The objective of this disease outbreak news is to raise awareness, inform readiness and response efforts, and provide technical guidance for immediate recommended actions. By the way, this kind of reminds me of Bill Gates saying, oh, don't worry, we'll get them next time, to Trump and his wife, basically talking about the Plandemic. That, oh, next time we'll get their attention. The situation is evolving, and WHO expects there will be more cases of monkeypox identified as surveillance expands in non-endemic countries. Immediate actions focus on informing those who may be most at risk for monkeypox infection with accurate information in order to stop further spread. Current available evidence suggests that those who are at most risk are those who have had close physical contact with someone with monkeypox while they are symptomatic. WHO is also working to provide guidance to protect frontline healthcare providers and other health workers who may be at risk, such as cleaners. WHO will be providing more technical recommendations in the coming days. Description of the outbreak. As of the 21st of May, 1300 hours, 92 laboratory confirmed cases and 28 suspected cases of monkeypox, with investigations ongoing, have been reported to WHO from 12 member states that are not endemic for monkeypox virus across 3 WHO regions. No associated deaths have been reported to date. Reported cases thus far have no established travel links to an endemic area. Based on currently available information, cases have mainly, but not exclusively, been identified amongst men who have sex with men, MSM, seeking care in primary care and sexual health clinics. To date, all cases whose samples were confirmed by PCR, of course they would use PCR, have been identified as being infected with West African clade genome sequence from the swab sample from a confirmed case in Portugal, indicated a close match of the monkeypox virus causing the current outbreak. 2 exported cases from Nigeria to the United Kingdom, Israel, and Singapore in 2018 and 2019. The identification of confirmed and suspected cases of monkeypox with no direct travel links to an endemic area represents a highly unusual event. Surveillance to date in non-endemic areas has been limited, but is now expanding. WHO expects that more cases in non-endemic areas will be reported. Available information suggests that human-to-human transmission is occurring among people in close physical contact with cases who are symptomatic. In addition to this new outbreak, WHO continues to receive updates of the status of ongoing reports of monkeypox cases through established surveillance mechanisms, integrated disease surveillance and response. For cases in endemic countries, as summarized in Table 2, monkeypox endemic countries are Benin, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Gabon, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Liberia, Nigeria, the Republic of the Congo, Sierra Leone, and South Sudan. Epidemiology of the disease. Monkeypox is a viral zoonosis, a virus transmitted to humans from animals, with symptoms very similar to those seen in the past in smallpox patients. Although it is clinically less severe, it is caused by monkeypox virus, which belongs to the Orthopoxvirus genus of the Poxviridae family. There are 2 clades of monkeypox virus, the West African clade and the Congo Basin, Central African clade. The name monkeypox originates from the initial discovery of the virus in monkeys in a Danish laboratory in 1958. The first human case was identified in a child of the Democratic Republic of the Congo in 1970. Monkeypox virus is transmitted from one person to another by close contact with lesions, body fluids, respiratory droplets, and contaminated materials such as bedding. The incubation period of monkeypox is usually from 6 to 13 days, but can range from 5 to 21 days. Various animal species have been identified as susceptible to the monkeypox virus. Uncertainty remains on the natural history of the monkeypox virus, and further studies are needed to identify the exact reservoirs and how virus circulation is maintained in nature. Eating inadequately cooked meat and other animal products of infected animals is a possible risk factor. Oh, and they'll definitely use that because they're trying to get us all on bugs and crickets and cockroaches and 3D printed meat, menu for the New World Order. Monkeypox is usually self-limiting, but may be severe in some individuals, such as children, pregnant women, or persons with immune suppression due to other health conditions. Human infections with the West African clade appear to cause less severe disease compared to the Congo Basin clade, with a case fatality rate of 3.6 compared to 10.6% for the Congo Basin clade. Public health response. Further public health investigations are ongoing in non-endemic countries that have identified cases, including extensive case finding and contact tracing, laboratory investigation, clinical management, and isolation, provided with supportive care. Genomic sequencing, where available, have been undertaken to determine the monkeypox virus clades in this outbreak. V for monkeypox, where available, is being deployed to manage close contacts such as health workers. WHO is convening experts and discussing recommendations on Vs. WHO has developed surveillance case definitions for the current monkeypox outbreak in non-endemic countries. Suspected case: a person of any age presenting in a monkeypox non-endemic country with an unexplained acute rash, and one or more of the following signs or symptoms since the 15th of March 2022. Headache, acute onset fever, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Swollen lymph nodes, basically. Myalgia, back pain, and asthenia, which is profound weakness. And for which the following common causes of acute rash do not explain the clinical picture. For varicella zoster, herpes zosters, measles, Zika, dengue, herpes simplex, bacterial skin infections, disseminated gonococcus infection, primary or secondary syphilis, canthroid, venereum, granuloma, molluscium, a bunch of fucking words I can't pronounce. Monkeypox endemic countries are Benin. We already went over that. I think that's about it, man. WHO advice basically is identification of additional cases and further onward spread in the country's currently reported cases and other member states is likely. Any patient with suspected monkeypox should be investigated and, if confirmed, isolated until their lesions have crusted, the scab has fallen off, and the fresh layer of skin has formed underneath. Countries should be on the alert for signals related to patients presenting with an atypical rash that progresses in sequential stages: macules, papules, vesicles, pustules, scabs at the same stage of development over all affected areas of the body that may be associated with fever, enlarged lymph nodes, back pain, and muscle aches. These individuals may present to various community and healthcare settings, including but not limited to primary care, fever clinics, sexual health services, infectious disease units, obstetrics and gynecology, urology, emergency departments, and dermatology clinics. Increasing awareness among potential affected communities as well as healthcare providers and laboratory workers is essential for identifying and preventing further secondary cases and effective management of the current outbreak. Considerations relating to surveillance and reporting. Surveillance. The key objectives of surveillance and case investigations for monkeypox in the current context are to rapidly identify cases, clusters, and the sources of infection as soon as possible in order to provide optimal clinical care, isolate cases to prevent further transmission, identify and manage contacts, and tailor effective control and prevention methods based on most commonly identified routes of transmission. In non-endemic countries, one case is considered an outbreak. Because of the public health risk associated with the single case of monkeypox, clinicians should report suspected cases immediately to national or local public health authorities, regardless of whether they are also exploring other potential diagnoses. Cases should be reported immediately, according to the case definitions above or nationally tailored case definitions. Probable and confirmed cases should be reported immediately to WHO through IHR National Focal Points, NFPs for short, under the International Health Regulations IRH 2005. And we actually did a whole episode on IHR 2005, which go check that out. It's disconcerting. Countries should be on the alert for signals related to patients presenting with unusual rash, vesicular or pustular lesions, or often associated with fever in a range of community and healthcare settings, including but not limited to primary care, fever clinics, sexual health services, infectious disease units, obstetrics and gynecology and dermatology clinics. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Reporting. Case reports should include at a minimum the following information: date of report, reporting location, name, age, sex, and residence of the case, date of onset of first symptoms, recent travel history, recent exposure to a probable or confirmed case, relationship and nature of contact with probable or confirmed cases where relevant, recent history of multiple or anonymous sexual partners, smallpox V status, presence of rash, presence of other clinical signs or symptoms as per case definition, date of confirmation where done, method of confirmation where done, genomic characterization if available, other relevant clinical or laboratory findings, particularly to exclude common causes of rash as per the case definition, whether hospitalized, date of hospitalization, where done, and outcome at timing of reporting. A global case reporting form is under development. Considerations related to case investigation. During human monkeypox outbreaks, close physical contact with infected persons is the most significant risk factor for monkeypox virus infection. If monkeypox is suspected, the investigation should consist of clinical examination of the patient using appropriate infection prevention and control (IPC) measures. Roman numeral 2, questioning the patient about possible sources of infection and the presence of similar disease in the patient's community and contacts. And Roman numeral 3, safe collection and dispatch of specimens for monkeypox laboratory examination. The minimum data to be captured are included above under reporting. Exposure investigation should cover the period between 5 to 21 days prior to symptom onset. Any patient with suspected monkeypox should be isolated during the presumed and known infectious periods, that is, during the prodromal and rash stages of the illness, respectively. Laboratory confirmation of suspected cases is important but should not delay implementation of public health actions. Suspected presence of similar disease in the patient's community or amongst contacts should be further investigated, also known as backwards contact tracing. So yeah, there you have it. That's what everyone is saying in the conspiracy community, that this is the next Plandemic. I just wanted to inform you of what's going on. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Please like, share, and subscribe, and you all have a good day.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings, secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.